Humans were actually being raised like pets by chimera ants. After Kite and his group arrived, the white-haired man immediately started pleading for help. However, the centaur ant crushed his head with a single stomp. Seeing this, another slave quickly tried to please the centaur ant. Just like your girlfriend's male best friend, the more he tried to please it, the more the centaur ant wanted to kill him. Just as it was about to stomp on him, Gon immediately rushed forward to save him. But Kite quickly stopped him, because there was no way only one chimera ant was here. If Gon rushed in now, he would fall into their trap. Sure enough, 2 more chimera ants emerged from nearby caves. One was a mosquito ant. The other was a snail ant. Kite told Gon and Killua not to look away, because the enemies might seize the opportunity to attack. At that moment, the centaur ant stomped on the man's head again, arrogantly declaring that Kite and his friends would be his next batch of slaves. 3 immediately unleashed their nen. A battle was about to break out. Kite stated that he would handle the centaur ant, while Gon and Killua would deal with the other 2. As the fight began, both Kite and the centaur ant waited for the other to make a mistake. Meanwhile, on Gon's side, he had already engaged in close combat with the snail ant. The snail ant immediately used the long-lost Pegasus Meteor Fist, but Gon instantly teleported away to reposition himself. Then he delivered a direct punch to the snail ant's waist. However, the snail ant's body was not only incredibly tough, but it also possessed the resilience of an insect and the flexibility of a human. As a result, Gon's attack did not cause any real damage. Without hesitation, Gon unleashed his ultimate move, rock, paper, scissors. The immense energy of the attack terrified the snail ant. Meanwhile, facing the mosquito ant's fierce attacks, Killua decided to activate his long-unused killing mode. With his snake awakening technique, he broke the mosquito ant's arm. Enraged, she charged at him again. To Killua's surprise, the mosquito ant's real venomous stinger was on its tail. Killua quickly collapsed. The mosquito ant then turned her attention to the battle with the snail ant. But in the next second, she suddenly felt the world spinning. Killua suddenly twisted the mosquito ant's head off. The mosquito ant was in utter disbelief. It turned out that Killua, who had been trained as an assassin since childhood, had long since developed immunity to all toxins. Without hesitation, Killua cleanly beheaded the mosquito ant. Meanwhile, on the other side, Gon was still charging up. The force could be dozens of times stronger than his last punch. This forced the snail ant to start simulating the possible fight outcomes. It decided to focus on defense, even if it meant sacrificing 8 left hands. Then, it would use its 8 right hands to pin down Gon. After that, it would go for a bite, injecting its venom directly into Gon's body. After a series of calculations, the snail ant believed it was guaranteed to win. Without hesitation, it lunged forward. Rock, paper, just as I expected, scissors. A sword? No way. Where did this sneaky bastard hide his weapon? Kite, Gon, and Killua were getting closer to the queen ant's nest. But just then, Kite sensed imminent danger nearby. He immediately became alert. Without realizing it, the 3 of them had been surrounded by hundreds of chimera ants. Yet, the chimera ants were so arrogant that they actually wanted to fight them one-on-one. Gon stepped forward first. The opponent chosen for him was an armadillo ant. A battle was about to break out. The armadillo ant made the first move. Its sheer power shattered a towering tree upon impact. Having dodged the attack, Gon prepared for the next strike. The armadillo ant attacked again, but this time, it used its tail to change its trajectory mid-air. It slammed Gon directly into a tree. However, Gon didn't sustain any serious injuries. The armadillo ant was shocked by Gon's durability. If it were any other human, they would have coughed up their organs by now. But none of that mattered, because dodging its homing bullet attack was impossible. As long as it adjusted its trajectory, based on Gon's movements, it would hit. As the armadillo ant fired its bullet attack, Gon's aura surged with immense power. He took the attack head-on. The overwhelming force crushed the armadillo ant completely. It let out a painful scream. Just like that, the armadillo ant was defeated. Next, it was Killua's turn to fight. His opponent was a bull ant, 10 times stronger than the armadillo ant. But Killua simply scoffed, unimpressed. However, Kite suddenly felt a sense of foreboding, as if something had been overlooked. An uneasy feeling loomed over him like a shadow. Meanwhile, Killua's fight with the bull ant had begun. Killua activated Rhythm Echo and advanced. The bull ant couldn't distinguish Killua's real body, and charged forward blindly, taking advantage of the opening. Killua launched a direct attack at its heart, but the bull ant's skin was so tough that he couldn't pierce through. Realizing this, Killua vanished from sight. He launched a series of rapid assaults on the bull ant. At that moment, Kite also realized that he had overestimated these chimera ants. Even at the squadron leader level, their power was nothing special. His previous unease was nothing but unnecessary worry. With a single strike, Killua ripped out the bull ant's heart. The sheer display of power stunned the remaining chimera ants. Seeing this, the leader, the toad ant, decided to step in personally. At the same time, Kite also realized that he had completely overestimated these ants. His previous fears were nothing but paranoia. Without hesitation, he summoned Crazy Slots. This time, the weapon he rolled was a massive scythe. A crushing pressure instantly swept across the battlefield. Even Gon and Killua could feel the sheer danger emanating from the scythe. This was one of Kite's ultimate moves, Grim Reaper's Waltz. I remember now. This is death. A true absolute being taking everything for themselves. In an instant, all the chimera ants were annihilated by Kite. His power was truly terrifying. Meanwhile, inside the queen's nest, Ramoto, who had awakened his Nen abilities, was overconfident. He believed it was a divine gift. As long as he could master this power, he was certain he would become a king among the ants. Just as he was lost in his delusions, a terrifying presence suddenly emerged from deep within the nest. In an instant, Ramoto's ambition to become king vanished. The owner of that aura was one of the royal guards, the Catwoman. At this moment, Ramoto finally realized that his ambition of becoming a king was nothing more than a fleeting and foolish dream. As the Catwoman slowly approached, Ramoto instinctively dropped to his knees. From the moment of his birth, this difference in status had been unchangeable. Meanwhile, from within a pile of bones, Mokul looked outside in disbelief. Why was there such a dark and powerful aura among the chimera ants? Even Kite was terrified of the Catwoman. Just how powerful was she? Even from a great distance, she had already locked onto Kite and his group. In the next instant, an immense force erupted from her legs. She launched herself toward them like a cannonball. Just as Kite ordered Gon and Killua to flee, the Catwoman severed Kite's arm in a single strike. Both Gon and Killua were utterly shocked. What kind of terrifying existence was this? The sheer pressure radiating from her immobilized them completely. Seeing Kite's severed arm, Gon exploded with uncontrollable rage and power. Fortunately, Killua remained calm. He quickly knocked Gon unconscious. Without hesitation, he carried Gon and fled the scene. Now, only Kite and the Catwoman remained. Kite immediately summoned Crazy Slots. But this time, the weapon he rolled was a magic wand. Meanwhile, after an entire night of fleeing, Killua finally reached the nation's border. At the same time, human reinforcements had arrived. Leading them was Chairman Netero, accompanied by two others. And Netero asked Killua about the enemy. Killua gave a full report. Among the enemy, there was someone capable of using Nen, and its aura was more terrifying than any opponent he had ever faced. Neither his brother nor Hisoka even came close. Although Killua could sense how powerful Netero and his team were, he still doubted they could win. But upon hearing Killua's account, Nobu believed that Killua had fallen into fear. He had lost his ability to judge rationally. As a result, he was overestimating the enemy. Morel also told Killua that as a proper Nen user, You must fight with the resolve to win. Someone like Kahlua, who fled in fear of the enemy's aura, wasn't even worthy of being called a loser. Sitting in the carriage, Kahlua fell into deep thought. Before leaving, Netero had given them a choice. He left them with one challenge. I have arranged for 2 assassins in the nearest town. Whether you choose to fight is up to you. But, defeat them, and then come find us. If you want to continue living as hunters. This was the most heartbreaking moment in Hunter x Hunter. The powerful Kite had actually lost to the newly born Catwoman. His body had become nothing more than her plaything. Meanwhile, Gon and Kahlua, who had fled, had no idea. They were searching for the 2 assassins arranged by Netero. However, when they followed the clues to a notice board, they found that the message had been erased. Just then, a beautiful long-haired girl suddenly appeared. Her name was Palm. She had been sent by Netero to explain the situation to them. The 2 assassins Netero had arranged for them to fight were actually Morel's disciples, Knuckle and Shoot. Both of them were incredibly strong. They had been given one condition. Within 1 month, only the winning team would be qualified to fight the Chimera Ants. At that moment, Gon and Kahlua were still too weak. To help them grow stronger quickly, Palm had arranged for Bisky to personally train them. Meanwhile, from a distance near the Chimera Ant nest, Netero and his group spotted the Catwoman. After observing her, Netero concluded that the Catwoman was an existence even stronger than himself. However, Novu thought Netero was joking. If that were true, then there wouldn't be a single hunter capable of stopping her. But Netero stated that his days as the strongest Nen user were already half a century behind him. His current strength wasn't even half of what it used to be at his peak. Avoiding detection from the Catwoman's *N was impossible. At the same time, another of the royal guards was born. A butterfly-like being, Sheapoof. He possessed the ability to see into people's hearts. This made the Catwoman feel a bit melancholic, because at that moment, she was troubled about how to use her own abilities. However, when she saw Kite's frozen body, a bold idea emerged in her mind. Oh, this is actually quite simple. I just need to fix it. I can shape my ability like a key. In this way, I can once again relive those dreamlike moments with you. Meanwhile, the last of the 3 royal guards was also born. He was Menthuthuyupi, a being with the blood of magical beasts.